If you follow basketball at all, you already know the James name sits in its own category. But what's fascinating now is that we're not just talking about LeBron anymore. His sons, Bronny and Bryce, are starting to turn that family legacy into their own careers, their own brands, and possibly their own chapters in NBA history. One brother has already made that famous jump into the league alongside his father. The other is taking a slower, more methodical route that might end up just as dangerous for defenders down the line. Let's start at the beginning, because these two didn't just appear out of nowhere. LeBron Bronny James Jr. was born on October 6, 2004, in Akron, Ohio, the same city where LeBron built the foundation of his Hall of Fame career. From day one, Bronny grew up in an environment most kids only see on TV. Instead of just watching games on a couch, he was behind the scenes at NBA arenas, in locker rooms on practice courts, and soaking in what it actually looks like to be a professional athlete. His younger brother, Bryce Maximus, arrived on June 14, 2007, into that same whirlwind. By the time Bryce was old enough to understand what was happening around him, his dad was already a global superstar, and Bronny was starting to be viewed as next in line. Both boys watched up close as LeBron balanced being the face of the NBA with running production companies, managing endorsement deals, and pushing philanthropic work like the I Promise School. It wasn't just the highlight reels they were seeing. It was the grind, the business meetings, the community work. That was their version of normal. When the family moved to Los Angeles, the basketball part of their upbringing shifted into another gear. Both Bronny and Bryce ended up at Sierra Canyon School, a place that had become a pipeline for elite college and pro talent. This is not your typical high school program. Sierra Canyon games draw on national media, celebrities courtside, and constant online coverage. When you put the James brothers into that kind of program, there's no such thing as going under the radar. What's important, though, is that they weren't just handed opportunities because of their last name. The expectation level at Sierra Canyon is brutally high. Practices are competitive, rotations are tight, and everybody's chasing scholarships and draft boards. Every night, Bronny and Bryce were facing the best young players in the country, with cameras pointed at them from the opening tip. That comes with pressure, but it also builds habits. At home, those habits were reinforced by structure. It wasn't about glitz every day. It was about getting up, getting to practice, and doing the work even when nobody is filming it. Over time, you could see the differences in their playing styles and personalities. Bronny has usually carried himself as a more reserved, steady type. On the floor, he's known for his defensive focus, willingness to make the extra pass, and playing within a system. Bryce, taller and still growing, started to get noticed for his length, shooting stroke, and fluid movement. Even while he was still stretching into his frame, you could see that classic wing blueprint. Smooth jumper, good feel, and a calm tempo to his game. Bronny never really had the option of easing into things. The second he set foot in high school, every Sierra Canyon game felt like a mini NBA event. We're talking packed gyms, celebrities in the stands, social media accounts posting every dunk, every pass, every mistake. For most teenagers, that kind of environment would be overwhelming. Bronny handled it by blending in with other top recruits rather than try and dominate every possession. He wasn't putting up ridiculous viral stat lines every night, but he was playing real basketball and earning the respect of coaches and teammates. When he committed to USC in 2023, it made sense on multiple levels. It kept him close to home in Los Angeles. It gave him Pac-12 level competition, and it allowed him to grow in a serious hoops environment without immediately carrying an NBA team on his back. But just as things seemed to be lining up, the health scare hit. Bronny suffered a sudden cardiac arrest during a summer workout. Anytime you hear that about a young athlete, everything stops. Suddenly, basketball is the last thing on the list. He recovered, was cleared, and went back to work. But that episode became part of the story whether he wanted it to or not. A lot of players would have walked away. Instead, Bronny kept pushing and finished his freshman season at USC. Statistically, it wasn't some explosive breakout year. But again, context matters. He was coming back from a major health issue, adjusting to the college game, and playing under perhaps the most intense microscope of any freshman in the country. After that one season, Bronny declared for the 2024 NBA draft. That decision sparked plenty of debate. Some argued he needed more time in college. Others saw the long-term vision. When the Los Angeles Lakers selected him with the 55th pick in the second round, the conversation hit another level. The number might seem low for a James, but the significance was massive. For the first time in league history, a father and son would be teammates in the NBA. Same team, same jersey, same season. His rookie deal reflects both the opportunity and the reality. The contract is worth just under $8 million over 4 years, with about $4.37 million guaranteed. For most people, that's life-changing money. For Bronny, it's also a reminder that second-round picks still have to fight for their spot. Getting drafted wasn't the finish line. It was the official start of his professional grind. Now the question isn't, is he LeBron's son? It's, what kind of player is Bronny James going to be in his own right? While Bronny has already stepped onto an NBA floor, Bryce's path is unfolding at a different pace. And that's not a bad thing. Standing around 6 feet 6 inches, with a smooth, repeatable shooting motion and a calm presence, Bryce looks like someone who's been quietly absorbing high-level basketball for his entire life, which, frankly, he has. Instead of being molded into a primary ball handler like his brother, he's leaned more into that modern wing role. He uses his length to shoot over defenders, space the floor, and make smart reads without forcing the game. His high school career has had more movement. He's transferred several times, making stops at Campbell Hall and Notre Dame High School before deciding to return to Sierra Canyon for his senior year. Going back to familiar territory gave him a chance to finish where he started. With a coaching staff that knows his tendencies, teammates he's built chemistry with, and a system he understands. That's a stabilizing move for a player who is still physically and mentally developing. Through all of that, Bryce has kept a noticeably lower public profile than Bronny. He's not chasing every camera. He shows up, plays, and goes home. But scouts have been paying attention. Some evaluators who watch both brothers at similar stages believe Bryce might be the better pure shooter. He's not as explosive yet, but his mechanics, shot selection, and court awareness stand out. That type of game ages well. You don't need the ball in your hands every possession to matter. In January 2025, Bryce made a decision that raised his stock even more. He committed to the University of Arizona. It wasn't a shock pick, but it was a very smart one. Arizona has quietly built a reputation for turning talented players into pros without turning their every move into a circus. DeAndre Ayton, Lauri Markkanen, and Benedict Mathurin, they all came through that program. Bryce looks like he's following that blueprint. Pick a place that will develop you, give you winning reps, and prepare you for the next level. Off the court, both brothers are already operating in a business landscape that earlier generations of players never had access to this early. Bronny especially has stepped into the endorsement world with serious momentum. In 2022, Nike brought him into the fold. That move obviously lines up with LeBron's long-standing lifetime deal. But this was about throwing a favor to the family. Nike made it clear they see Bronny as a remarkable athlete in his own lane. He already had millions of followers before he played a college game, and in today's era, that reach is valuable. Not long after, he linked up with Beats by Dre, stepping into commercial roles that fans had previously associated with his father. PSD Underwear also signed him, tapping into that crossover lane of sports and streetwear. Every one of these deals is about more than just a paycheck. They're positioning him as a brand for younger fans who are as locked into social media and culture as they're into box scores. Bryce entered that lane a bit more quietly, signing with Clutch Sports in late 2022. That's the same Rich Paul-led agency that represents LeBron and a long list of NBA stars. For Bryce, this move is about structure and long-term planning. Clutch knows how to navigate nil deals, brand partnerships, and, eventually, NBA contracts. Even though we haven't seen Bryce front major campaigns yet, his alignment with that agency suggests those opportunities are waiting for the right moment. Bronny is already playing the media side of the game like a pro. His social profiles, especially Instagram, are curated carefully. You'll see highlights, workouts, snippets of family life, and behind-the-scenes content, but very little that feels random or out of character. That's not an accident. On top of that, he's filed multiple trademarks around his name: Bronny, BJ Jr., and other variations. That's a clear play to control his intellectual property and lay the groundwork for future merchandise, training platforms, or digital content under his own brand. Bryce's online presence is more understated. He shows up on the usual Hoops pages, Overtime, Ballast Life, and so on, but he's not flooding feeds with sponsored content. For now, that tracks with his personality and timeline. He's in that stage where the focus is mostly on hoop development. Once he's at Arizona and the nil machine really kicks in, it would be a surprise if he doesn't start to build his own brand profile more aggressively. Financially, their situations are very different, but equally notable. By late 2024, estimates had Bronny's net worth around $10 million. That's a staggering number for someone just beginning his NBA journey. The bulk of that comes from his rookie contract with the Lakers and those high-level endorsements with Nike, Beats, and others. It means his income isn't solely dependent on his stat line in year one. If he plays well, his value jumps. If he struggles early, he still has a cushion and a brand to build on. What stands out is that there have been no loud headlines about reckless spending sprees or impulsive purchases. Growing up with a front row view of how LeBron handled his own career and his investments in things like real estate, media, and sports ownership, it's hard to imagine those lessons not sinking in. Bronny looks like he's trying to learn, not just enjoy the perks. Bryce, meanwhile, is still pre-college, so there's no big public net worth attached to his name yet. But in the nil era, his combination of last name, game, and a major program like Arizona means serious offers are almost guaranteed to come. With Clutch in his corner, the odds are high that his entry into that world will be calculated, not chaotic. Their influence goes beyond money and marketing. As part of the LeBron James Family Foundation footprint, both Bronny and Bryce have been involved in community-facing events. Whether it's school functions tied to the I Promise School back in Akron or charity games and back-to-school drives. They're not front and center giving long speeches, but their presence reflects what they've grown up around. The idea that being a star means you show up for your community too. Culturally, they've already become reference points for younger players. What shoes Bronny laces up, what warm-up fits Bryce wears, how they approach pregame routines. Those details get noticed and copied. They're part of a generation where performance and social media visibility are completely intertwined. Even when they're not trying to be influencers, they're influencing. Looking ahead, the picture is pretty clear, but far from easy. Bronny is now officially a Los Angeles Laker, sharing a locker room and a court with his father. That's a history-making situation and a massive weight to carry. He doesn't need to be a star from day one, but he does need to show growth. The league will judge him not just as LeBron's son, but as a guard trying to earn minutes on a real NBA team. Every possession he plays will be compared, analyzed, and replayed. Bryce is about to start his chapter in Tucson, wearing an Arizona jersey and stepping into big-time college basketball. His size and shooting give him a strong base. College will test his toughness, his consistency, and his ability to adapt against older, stronger players. If he handles that well, the NBA isn't far off from either. The important thing is that he's not just Bronny's brother in scouting conversations anymore. He's becoming Bryce James, a prospect in his own lane. Together, they represent something we almost never see at this level. Not just brothers of a legend, but two legitimate prospects navigating completely different paths under the same massive spotlight. The James name will always connect back to LeBron's legacy, but what we're starting to see now is the beginning of their own chapters. The real question is what those chapters end up looking like. Does Bronny turn into a long-term NBA rotation guard? Maybe even a starter one day, who proves he belongs regardless of his last name? Does Bryce's slower burn and cleaner shooting stroke lead him to surprise people and become the more dangerous pro in the long run? However it plays out, one thing is clear. Legacy in sports isn't something you just inherit. It's what you build when people stop saying LeBron's kids and start talking about Bronny and Bryce strictly for what they do on the floor. How do you think their careers will unfold? Which brother do you see having the better NBA career when it's all said and done? Share your thoughts in the comments.